Hey guys, so what we have here is a mixture linear word problem. First we're going to read it out. How much of a 20% acid solution should we add to 20 gallons of a 42% acid solution to get a 35% acid solution? So what we need to do first is write up our handy dandy table that's going to help us solve this. All right, once we have our square done, we're going to add our rows and columns. All right, and the first row, we have our first solution, solution 1. Second solution is going in our second row, and then we have our mix in our third row, which is the combination of the two. We know that the first column is going to be our amount or volume times or multiplied by the value, which is also known as the concentration, which is going to equal the total value. All right, so let's start plugging some numbers in. So it says that we have a 20% acid solution to start with, and they're asking how much of it we need to add to the other solution. So we don't know how much yet, so we're going to write x for the amount because we're solving for that. And then we have 20% or 0.2 for the acid solution value of the first solution. And for the second solution, it says that we have 20 gallons, so we write that here for the amount next to the second solution, and that there's a 42% concentration or value. So 0.42 for the second solution. All right, so it says that if we multiply our amount by our value, we get the total value. So we could just finish these guys off, super simple, get that done. So 0.2 times x is 0.2x, then 0.42 times 20. If you do some quick math in your head, that comes out to be 8.4. Alrighty. Then it says that we need to get to a 35% acid solution. So that's going to be our goal for our mix. That's what we want to get as our concentration or value, our 35%. All right, and then we know that this is a mixture. So if we add, or rather this is the mixture, so if we add the x plus the 20 for our amounts, that should come to the mixture amount. So we have x plus 20. All right. So if we follow this, we see that x plus 20, or 35% rather, of x plus 20 should get us to the combination of these two total values. So we're going to write that out in equation form. So we have 0.2x plus 8.4 equals, we're going to put it in parentheses, x plus 20 times 0.35 or 35%. Okay. So first I want to multiply that, distribute it. So we bring that down, and then 0.35 times x is 0.35x, or 35% of x, plus 35% of 20, which turns out to be 7. All right, and then what we do next is we want to isolate x, because we're solving for x. So we subtract 7 from 8.4, which gets us to 1.4, and then we subtract 0.2 or 20% of x from 35% of x, or 0.35 times x, which gets us to 0.15 or 15% of x. All right, then what we need to do is we need to divide both of these by 0.15 to isolate x, and that should get us to, and you can do that on your calculators obviously, unless you're like hyper genius, do it in your head. That gets us to 9.33. Okay, so we just solve for x. And then we need to plug that back into our equation, which simply we have x here in our first row and column for solution 1. And we actually are trying to solve for how much we need to add. And so that quite simply then is the 9.33 for the amount.